I asked you guys over on Instagram to send in some beauty questions. We got some good ones in. Let's go ahead and get into it. First thing isn't really a question, but I had a friend want a tutorial on this eye look, so that is the eye look we are going to be doing for today's video. I am slightly surprised I didn't get more questions in because I know there's quite a bit of you that will private message me your makeup questions. So I don't know, maybe you guys were being a little bit shy. Everything is anonymous, just gonna throw that out there. For any future videos, if you ever ask a question over on Instagram, I'm not gonna call you out. But let's get into doing this eye tutorial and then answering questions along the way. And yes, I still have bangs, if you can see them poking out back here. But they were kind of getting on my nerves today. I did have them styled yesterday, but today, if you cannot tell, it is super rainy. So ignore the lighting situation. It's kind of chaotic at the moment because I really like to use natural light, and right now I'm using a mixture of my overhead light and a ring light just so you guys can see me. Also, I'm not too worried about the hair right now because I will be dyeing my hair for my transformation video. That'll be up before Thanksgiving. You guys won't see this video until early December. So definitely go watch my transformation video because I give you a step-by-step on how I did the wispy bangs. So if you want to do wispy bangs at home, you could follow the tutorial, just know that it might not turn out like mine. So do so at your own risk if you choose to do that. I always do my hair at home. So if you guys want any more like hair tutorials, I cut and dye my own hair. I have never been to a salon to get my hair dyed. I've only done it myself. And yeah. So if you need any tips, tricks, stuff like that, I'm sure I could give you some because I've done quite a bit of different colors, honestly. I'll try to find some pictures, but of course I've dyed my hair black, as you can see. Naturally, my hair is super dark brown, not black, so I've done that. I've done a full head of red. I've done full head of purple. I've also like dip dyed my hair to where I just had purple at the ends. I've done it where I just had red at the ends. I've done the underlayer, like this part of my hair, purple, and then the rest of it was black. I've done highlights on myself. They were kind of subtle, but that's kind of what I wanted, was just subtle highlights. I've done an ombre on my hair. I've done a bunch of stuff. I've bleached it. I've done color remover. I've done permanent dye, semi-permanent. I've done pretty much everything imaginable to my hair. So if you want hair advice, I can try to do something on that as well. All right, the first official question is, what is the favorite makeup look I've ever done? And I think I'm actually gonna have to think about this one for a minute because I'm not quite sure. Like, I've done a lot of different makeup looks. I've done more natural looks. I've done bright and colorful. I've done smoky. I'm definitely gonna say one of the smoky looks is my favorite, just because I love how a smoky eye complements my eye color, my eye shape. So definitely something smoky. I will throw a picture up on the screen. I'm gonna have to go through my Instagram for this one, but anything smoky is definitely a go-to for me. I feel the most confident and comfortable in a smoky eye. So the look that we are doing today is definitely gonna be up there as a favorite for me, just for the simple fact I like a good smoky eye, and having like a smoky liner situation, I absolutely love it. I am going to start with the eyes today, so I think I'm going to go ahead, line the eyes with the black liner. I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario one. This is just the black one. This is going to be easy to smudge, and it has a smudge brush on the other end of it. Don't know why mine is like frayed right here. We're just gonna go with it. Okay, now that our eyes are lined with the black, I'm just gonna use a little bit of concealer. I'm using the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place And this is going to act as my eyeshadow primer. Anytime I do my eyes, I have like foundation, concealer, powder, and that is basically my eye primer. Sometimes I will actually go in with an eye primer. It just depends on how I feel that day. Little TMI, but I probably should have shaved my brows before this. Yeah, but it's fine. Okay, squeeze you guys in a little bit closer. So we have that primer down. Now I'm just going to use a little bit of my setting powder on the lids. I'm just going in with the Rare Beauty one. Let's get into this next question. And it's, what is my favorite makeup brand? So this is a hard one for me because for different categories, I prefer different brands. Now, like some of the brands that I'm absolutely obsessed with and I love everything that I have tried would be Rare Beauty. Makeup by Mario is a big one for me. Like, I am obsessed with them. Melt Cosmetics, to die for. If you are an edgier girl, you're gonna love them. They have some of the best eyeshadows, liquid shadows. There's so much to choose from. Makeup by Mario, like, I have loved everything I have tried, and I have done a full face video of Makeup by Mario. Same with Rare Beauty. So everything I have tried from them has been amazing. Glamlight is still one of my absolute favorites for eyeshadow palettes. Their lip kits are amazing. Honestly, everything from Glamlight is amazing. Their lip kits, their lip masks, scrubs, brushes, eyeshadows, blushes, highlighters. Their eye bases are really nice. Let's get into this Makeup by Mario palette. This is the Master Mattes, the neutrals. This is more of a cool toned palette. And for this eye look, something like this is going to be necessary. We have more questions to answer, but I'll answer those later when we get to those steps. So let's go ahead and start on this eye look. I think I'm going to take this shade here. And this is just going to be kind of like our base shade. So I'm smoking this all over the lid, into the crease, just so we have something down. And again, Makeup by Mario is one of my absolute favorite brands. Are these eyeshadow palettes really expensive? They're $50-something. Yes. And they're all matte as well, but they perform beautifully, they blend themselves, they last on the eyes for a very long time. Unlike the Patrick Ta palette I got in my Ipsy, and that was like $70 and the shadows creased. They creased. And I rarely have that problem with high-end eyeshadow palettes. I typically have that problem with drugstore palettes like Maybelline, L'Oreal, anything in that realm. They typically crease on me, and that's why I don't do drugstore eyeshadow palettes, because they end up creasing. So we have that base color down. We are going to start lining the eyes, and it does not have to be perfect because it is getting smoked out anyway. So I'm flipping over, grabbing this little smudger guy here, and gently going to start smudging this. And this is going to be a back and forth type of thing. Smudge a little, add a little more, smudge a little, just until you are happy with the shape. And these pencils last a very long time on the eyes as well. So I know there's not going to be any smudging or creasing or flaking or anything. That is why I really enjoy this pencil. Is this kind of expensive as well? Yes, Makeup by Mario is a professional makeup artist, so his products are a little more high ticket, but they are high quality, which is what I appreciate. Now, like I said, it can be kind of messy because it's going to be smoky, smudgy sexy anyway. I'm going in with this gray shade now, and I'm gonna take a smudger brush about this big, grab enough of that on this brush. I'm covering all sides of it. You can see that, all sides of the brush. Tap off the excess, and if you end up with a little bit of fallout, it is fine because we haven't done our face yet, so don't worry about it. This is just going right over that black liner. The liner is going to act as a base, but not only that, you want near your lash line to be darker than whatever is blown out up here. Again, this can be super duper messy because we still have face makeup to clean this up with, and we're not done with the steps on the eyes, I hate to tell you. So if you think this is like a super quick look, it's not. It looks low effort because of how smoky it is and smudgy, but it takes a little bit of practice and time because you want to make sure everything is blended and not too harsh for this, or you're just going to kind of lose the whole idea of the look, if that makes sense. You want it to be smoky and sexy, and again, look like low effort, but you got to put some effort in. So when you are happy with how the gray part is looking, this is about how thick I want the gray. I am going in with that black shadow next. I'm going to take the smallest little pencil brush I have ever seen in my life. Going to really get that on there, tap off the excess, and this is going to stay close to the lash line, basically right on top of where we put that black eyeliner, and just smudging this even further. And it just makes everything look a little more put together. Like this eye looks so much better than this one. This one just looks like a gray wing, where this actually looks like you smudged out your black liner, and that's the look that we want. All right, we'll come back to the eyes in a second. Let's go ahead and get the face makeup out of the way, and we will get into the next question. I'm going to use the Makeup by Mario foundation. This is the original one he came out with, the original Surreal Skin. It is glowy. That is what all that is. There is some glow to this. And then, of course, back in with the Estee Lauder concealer, and we'll be back for the next question. All right, next question. I'm assuming this is about bronzer. Now, my advice on this is to grab something a little bit darker than your skin tone, but not super dark, because if it's super dark and you try to blend this on your face, it's not gonna look natural. It's not gonna look pretty. And then my second tip would be cream bronzer, and I will show you why. Not only do I find it pretty easy to blend out, but I feel like powders, you can get patchy very quickly, especially if you do not set your entire face with a translucent powder. I see girls all the time on TikTok using powders, like powder bronzer, powder blush, over wet foundation. And it irks me to my core. Like, no, you have to set your foundation with some type of setting powder and then go in with your powder blush or powder bronzer, powder highlighter. Do not use your powder cheek products right on top of wet foundation because it will stick. It's going to get patchy. It's going to be too pigmented. And then guess what? You can't blend it out because it's stuck to your foundation. If you have your powder on and then you do those steps and it's a little too intense, you can just blend it out because it's not stuck to your face. That is like one of my biggest pet peeves with these makeup artist on TikTok is doing that, that does not look good in person. I'm telling you right now, it does not look good in person. So that is my 2 cents on that one. I did get a little heated on that one. Let's move on. I did use the Rare Beauty bronzer stick and Happy Soul, and I'm going in with the liquid blush and Happy because it's pink, and I figured this with my smoky wing situation will look good. And don't worry, we're not done with the eyes, but I want to have my base done first, and then we will get back into the eye look, just so, again, we don't have powder touching liquid and vice versa. I really hate watching people on TikTok do their makeup sometimes because all my pet peeves start coming out. Like these girls that do their eyes before their face. Okay, no problem. Like I did some eye makeup before my base. But they will do their lower lash line and underneath the eye and everything before their base. Once you go in there, you have to be super duper careful not to get concealer, foundation, your setting powder, anything on top of what you just did on your lower lash line. Just wait. Plus, if you have oily skin like I do, having more steps for the oil to go through, it helps save your makeup and make it last longer. Like I know my lower lash line makeup always looks great by the end of the day because I wait until after I do my foundation, concealer, and powder to go in there. So my oil has to go through more products to mess up my under eye makeup. All right, we're going back into the eyeshadow palette. We're grabbing the gray on that same brush that we used it with before. And we are smoking out this lower lash line, connecting it to this upper wing. Do we see what we are doing here? We are connecting and smoking this out. Now, remember that makeup is an art form. It does take time and practice. You're not going to get anything overnight. I have been playing with makeup for a very, very long time. I would sneak into my mom's makeup when I was like 3 years old and start applying it. Did it look good? No, absolutely not, because I was 3 years old. It's not going to look good. But that just goes to show, with some time and practice, you can get better at makeup. Like, did my makeup look like this in high school? Absolutely not. Was it atrocious? I would say no. Like, I have done in more recent years how I did my makeup in high school. We can always revisit those kind of videos. I even redid my makeup how I did it in middle school. Was it worse than what I did in high school? Yes. Like, even year to year back then, my makeup skills would improve and change. It really just shows that time, practice, effort, it all counts. Now, for the inner corner portion of this, I do want to brighten up the eye a little bit first. So I'm going to use this more pinky shade right here and brighten up the inner portion of the eye right in here. So this is with that brightening shade. This is without. It definitely makes a difference. Is it like a super big difference? No. No, if I used a white, it would be more dramatic, but that's not the goal here. We really want the main focus to be this liner situation. Now I am going to use my face highlighter. I'm going to end up using this one from Makeup by Mario. Again, if you go through my makeup collection and what I use on a daily basis, a lot of it is Makeup by Mario and Rare Beauty. And also going ahead, taking that on the rest of the face since we already have it pulled out. It is a more subtle highlight but it's still very pretty. For that little inner corner moment, we are taking liquid liner and just doing the inner wing. If you don't know how to do an inner wing, I would definitely practice this because it makes such a big difference in any eye look. Look at how snatched this eye is compared to this one. Now, for the best question here, best mascara right now. This is my second tube of this. And this mascara honestly makes me not want to try anything else because it does everything. This is the Melt Cosmetics So High Mascara. It is a waterproof mascara. I will say if it's raining or if you have watery eyes, it's not going anywhere. I love the shape of the wand, but it is super easy to get off with makeup remover. So just make sure you have a good cleansing oil or cleansing balm and it completely comes off. It does not make your lashes dry or crusty. A lot of waterproof mascaras I used in the past have dried out my lashes so bad to where they would fall out. This does not do that whatsoever. I always start by curling my lashes, and my favorite eyelash curler is the one from Shiseido. This is like $28 for this eyelash curler. Is it worth it? Yes. Because the replacement pad here is only $9. And I've had this well over a year and I haven't had to replace the pad just yet. Like, it has still got plenty of squish to it. And I use this one every single day. Every single day. And it's still got plenty of squish to it. So I highly recommend that particular eyelash curler and then this mascara. So it holds your curl. It's somewhat waterproof to where it's not going to smudge all over your face. Just have a good makeup remover to get it off. It doesn't dry out your lashes. It adds plenty of volume, length, and it literally looks like I'm wearing falsies the way I apply this. So we're going to apply it together. You can see my natural lashes. I do have decent natural lashes. So I start by taking the curved part and running this through the lashes, getting them nice and coated. I'll take the end here and start separating them as I go. And I'm also hitting the tips. Now, this is like a $23, $24 mascara. Is it expensive? Yes. Is it the best mascara I have ever tried? I have tried high-end, drugstore, indie brands, Dollar Tree mascaras, which I do not recommend. And this is the best one by far. And it also does not flake. Now, I did bump my lower lash line, but it's fine. I'm wearing a smoky eye. I'm just going to smudge into the liner and go with it. But yeah, we are still building. You could honestly leave it like this. Like, look at my lashes. Are you joking? Could leave it like this, but I like drama. So I'm going to build up a little more. But again, this mascara literally does everything. No smudging, no flaking, waterproof, holds curl, volumizes, separates the lashes, adds length, and literally looks like I'm wearing falsies, but we did all that together. So you know I'm not. Are you joking? And I want to note, my lashes will stay like this all day long. Whether I'm sweating, it's raining out, I had a long day. If I cry a little bit, doesn't matter. For lips, we're just going to use the Tana X Tarte Lip Duo. And I guess that was all the questions you guys had for me. If you can think of any other beauty questions, makeup, hair, skin, anything, go ahead, leave it down in the comments below. We can definitely do a part 2 to this. I love answering makeup questions, and I think this look was really, really fun to do. If there's another look you want me to recreate, you know where to find me. I'll have my socials linked down below. Send me pictures. And if you guys want me to recreate a look, I can definitely do that for you all. And again, if you have any more questions, let me know down below. And of course, if you like any kind of makeup content, I do a bunch over here. So be sure to like and subscribe before you leave. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.